Ever feel like your energy is tanking in the middle of the day despite how healthy you're eating? It's not your fault. In midlife, hormone changes can affect our fatigue levels and our inflammation. So, today I'm going to show you 3 quick recipes that you can do to help boost your energy and reduce your inflammation. And bonus, these recipes are all fall inspired. Hello, ladies. Welcome back to Healthy Her Midlife. I am Christine. I am the creator of this channel and the blog, healthyhermidlife.com. I am a certified holistic nutritionist and health and wellness coach, and I help women 40 and older boost their energy levels, reduce their inflammation, and support their hormones so they can feel like themselves again. Today, I have 3 cozy fall recipes for you that are going to be quick recipes that you can grab and go, snacks, maybe a quick breakfast or a quick mid-afternoon drink, just to boost those energy levels naturally without caffeine and maybe help you get into the fall spirit a little bit quicker. So first up is a Power Pumpkin Spice Smoothie recipe that I have created. It's super simple and it does follow the Power Breakfast formula that I referenced in a previous video. So check that out if you're curious about what I'm talking about. But this smoothie recipe is full of protein, phytoestrogen, fiber, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, and a lot of complex carbs, and pumpkin spice. So let's get started. First, you're going to take your blender and you are going to add your milk. My recipe calls for 1 cup of soy milk, but you can use any plant-based milk that you like. Soy milk is great because it's full of phytoestrogens and protein. 1 cup of soy milk has about 9 grams of protein in it. Then I like to grab a big handful of greens. You can use spinach, you can use kale, whatever your preferences are. This time I have a super greens blend that's a bunch of spinach and chard and I don't know, all kinds of different healthy mixture of greens. And I'm not going to measure this out, I'm just taking a handful. And by the way, this recipe is going to make 1 serving. So the greens are my magnesium. They are also fiber, and they are also calcium too. Next, I will add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. This is going to be my healthy fat and my omega-3 fatty acid. Just 1 tablespoon is all you need. It's full of fiber. This is really great for your gut and for your digestion as well. Okay, this would not be a Power Pumpkin Spice Smoothie without the pumpkin. So this is a can of pure pumpkin. The only ingredient in this is pumpkin. So you don't want to get the pumpkin pie can. That's going to be full of sugar. You want just pure pumpkin. So read your ingredient labels. My recipe calls for about 1/2 cup, and I'm eyeballing this. I think that's about 1/3. So I'm going to do that and just a little bit more for my 1/2 cup. Next, I'm going to add, this is optional. If you want a little more boost of protein, you can add 1 scoop of a vanilla protein powder that you like. I like this one. It's the Orgain Organic. I actually usually use the Orgain Simple Organic. It's only 6 ingredients, but this is the one that the grocery store had. So I'm just going to put 1 scoop in for an extra 10 grams of protein. So that'll boost this smoothie to at least 20 grams of protein. Next, I'm going to add the pumpkin pie spice. And I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon. This is, again, to your liking. So if you like more, add more. And if you like less, add less. I'm going to try it with a 1/2 teaspoon and see how I like it. And then lastly, I'm going to add 1/2 of a banana for a little bit of sweetness. This is also a preference. You can also add a whole banana if you want. And ideally, your banana is frozen. Mine was not frozen. I'm all out of frozen bananas right now, so mine's fresh. I'm probably going to need to add some ice to my smoothie as well, but I'm going to let it blend up first and then I'll add the ice. And before I add that ice to it, oh, yeah, that's a good taste. I like it. Probably added too much ice there, but eh. So I'm going to run this again with the ice in it to get it nice and cool. Okay, that looks pretty good. Feels nice and cool. I'm just going to pour it in my ball jar because that's how I roll around here. I don't think my boyfriend would like this smoothie simply because of the color. He also really does not enjoy greens in his smoothies. The last time I tried to sneak greens into his smoothies, he told me to, in no uncertain terms, never do that again. But if you have somebody who is also greens averse, typically you can hide greens in something full of berries, like a strong berry. So I would recommend adding a full banana and like one, maybe 2 cups of mixed berries or even cherries, and then adding the greens, and it might just hide the taste to them. Oh, wow. This is really good. It's not too sweet. It for me, it's the perfect amount of sweet, and it's the perfect amount of pumpkin spice too. That tastes really divine. I am thoroughly going to enjoy this energizing, anti-inflammatory pumpkin spice power smoothie. This recipe is available on the blog healthyhermidlife.com, and the link to get directly to this recipe will be in the show description. This is a total guilt-free way to enjoy the pumpkin spice season without all of the added calories and sugar. I added no extra sugar in here. The only sugar in here is that half of a banana. And it is the pumpkin puree gives you lots of beta carotene and fiber. And like I said, those are a good source of magnesium, which will calm you down, keep the stress levels low. And magnesium is great for muscle support too. And speaking of support, you do have the soy protein in here and the flaxseed in here. Both of those are phytoestrogens as well that will help support your hormones. Okay, I'm going to clean up a little bit here. And next up, I'm going to show you how to make some really great energy bites that my boyfriend will eat these. Okay, next up are my fall energy bites, and these are a great little snack, a little mid-afternoon treat if you've got a sweet tooth. This will help you take care of it in a very healthy way. It is full of apricots, or do you say apricots? I say apricots because I'm from California. So it's full of chopped apricots, but you can also substitute cranberries as well if that's what you prefer. And I'm actually going to do a little mixture of cranberry and apricots because I'm almost completely out of apricots. And the recipe does call for a half a cup of chopped apricots, and I think I'm only going to get about a quarter. So I'm going to add cranberries to mine. And then you're also going to want to add whatever your favorite nut is. Almonds are what is in this recipe, but today I am going to use pecans. You could, I'm sorry, no. Today I'm going to use pistachios, but you could also use pecans. You could also use walnuts. Those are all great healthy fats and full of omega-3 fatty acids. For even more fiber, I have oats that I'm going to add. And for a protein boost, I've got almond butter. And for extra flavoring, I just have some vanilla and some cinnamon, and I will sweeten it a little bit with some maple syrup. And I cannot forget the chia seeds. Chia seeds are a great addition to this recipe. Again, it's full of omega-3s, but it's also a phytoestrogen. So these energy bites are going to help boost your energy, but also kind of soothe your hormones. So it's a great recipe. And like I said, my boyfriend loves this recipe and I love it too. So let's start. So I'm using a mini food processor. I'm using my tiny little Cuisinart thing. This appliance is great. It's $40 at Costco. Go get one. It's an immersion blender, but it has the food processor attachment. So instead of lugging out my gargantuan Cuisinart food processor, this is a great alternative for small chop jobs. What I like to do is I like to start this with my dried fruit. So I'm going to add my 5 apricots to this blender, and I'm going to chop that up first. This is going to be the hardest thing to chop. It'll, try to stay chunky as long as possible. And I'm also going to add some dried cranberries to this as well. And I'm just eyeballing this. That's kind of how I like to create my recipes, is just kind of eyeballing it, unless I'm baking. And then baking is more of a science and you need to really do measure out what you're doing. But as long as you have the right combination of wet ingredients and dry ingredients, this should work out beautifully for you. Okay, so just a 1/4 cup of nuts, and I'm using pistachios today because I've used them before with this, and it's a nice complement to the apricots. And it's kind of like Halloween. You've got the orange and the green. So the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup. So I'm going to chop this up first and then add the rest of the ingredients. And as we add the rest of the ingredients, the fruit will chop down even more. All right, so next I'm just going to add everything else. And my recipe actually calls for quick oats, not rolled oats, because my boyfriend accidentally bought the wrong oats one time at the grocery store. And I told him this would not work very well for his overnight oats, and he did not believe me. And so I made them, and I was right. So I've been looking for ways to use up these quick cooking oats. You could also use rolled oats with this, and it would work just fine, though. But you're going to use 1.5 cups of quick cooking oats. And then we're going to add about a 1/2 cup of almond butter, but you can use peanut butter if you prefer, or whatever nut butter you like. And I'm going to eyeball it because I don't like putting messy things in my measuring cups. We are also adding a tablespoon of our chia seeds, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. This is optional. About 1/3 cup of maple syrup. I'm just at the end of this, so I'm just, whatever's in here is what I'm using today. I think that's probably less than 1/3 cup. It's probably a 1/4 cup. Again, this is a personal preference thing. If you like things a little sweeter, then add more maple syrup to it. And we are also adding 1/3 cup of dark chocolate chips. Oops, lost one. This processor is going to do its thing. Now I wish I had used my bigger one. Definitely, if you're going to use old-fashioned rolled oats, you're going to want to use a bigger food processor because you're going to need to chop down those oats a little bit better. Luckily, I'm using the quick cook kind, and those are already pre-chopped pretty well. So this is all mixed up now. I'm pretty happy with it. So I am going to put this in the refrigerator and let it set up for about 20 minutes. And while that's happening, I am going to clean up my kitchen again. And we'll move on to the last recipe, which is a golden milk latte. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to warm up some plant-based milk, about 1.5 cups. I have a mixture of almond milk and soy milk. So we have protein and we have phytoestrogens and fiber. And I'm just going to whisk this and warm it up for now. As soon as I start to see a little bit of bubbles starting to form around the edges of the milk against the pot, then I will add the spices. And this spice blend is a blend of turmeric, cloves, ginger, cardamom, and cinnamon, and some black pepper too. The recipe for this is also on the website, and I have the link in the show description too. Okay, I think that's warm enough. I'm going to add these spices to it. And then I'm just going to whisk it until it's completely incorporated. So what's nice is the turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory spice for your body, as well as ginger. Ginger and cinnamon both are both anti-inflammatory, and considered heating spices. So they can give you a slight boost in your metabolism. Not like a lot, but you know, little bits over time add up, is what I say. And actually, even black pepper is a great anti-inflammatory spice. So when this is all incorporated, it's going to be pretty much a solid, like a light yellow, creamy yellow color because of that turmeric. And then if it's hot enough for you, it is done. And you could also put this, if you have a frother, you could use a frother to make it a little more frothy. The soy milk, if you add soy milk to it, soy will froth up pretty well. I'm going to add just a teaspoon of maple syrup and pour it in your favorite mug. What's great about this latte is there's no coffee in it. There's no caffeine. And that is going to be far more supportive of your energy levels than a caffeinated drink is. This smells so good. It's frothy too. That's nice. That's nice. It's not too sweet. If you like it sweeter, you can add more maple syrup to it. It's got a nice spiciness to it, but it's a gentle spiciness. This is a nice afternoon post meeting, and you just have a few more hours to get through before you have to go home. This would be a great latte alternative. You could make it in advance, put it in a thermos, and bring it to work with you even. Okay, our two recipes are done, our Power Pumpkin Smoothie and our Golden Latte. And lastly, we just have to scoop out our energy bites into cute little balls, and those will be ready as well. They almost smell like cookies. So what you're going to do after you have refrigerated them for about 20 minutes, and mine has not been 20 minutes, but we're going to pretend, is you're going to scoop them out into your hand and give them a squeeze. They should stick together like a ball, like this. If they are too dry, go ahead and add more liquid. You can just add simply water to it, a tablespoon at a time, to get to the consistency that you need it to be. And actually, I think I'm going to need to add some water to this too. You definitely don't want them falling apart on you. And the combination of the almond butter and the dried fruit should keep it all together, and the maple syrup. It still is a little crumbly, but it's not dry, and that's what you want. So I'm just going to keep doing this, making these tiny little balls until all of the mixture is done. You can make bigger balls if you like. You can even make them into bars. You can roll them into tubes and even drizzle some melted dark chocolate over it would be yum. These will last in your refrigerator for about a week if they last that long. You can also freeze them for about 2 or 3 months. You can incorporate a recipe like this in your weekly meal prep as you're getting ready for your work week. One ball that's about this size is about 100 calories. So I wouldn't sit down with a plate full of them and eat them all in one shot. Don't do that. This would also be a fun recipe to make with your children or grandchildren. Now, when I'm carefully measuring these out, I usually get about 18 balls. So I'm pretty close to it this time, even though I'm being a little bit messy with it. Okay, ladies, there you have it. Here are 3 quick fall-inspired snacks to boost your energy and help fight inflammation in your body. We have the Pumpkin Spice Power Smoothie, and what makes it power are those greens. And then we have the Golden Latte with no caffeine. And then we have the Energy Bites with dried apricots, and I added dried cranberries as well as pistachios and dark chocolate chips. And so with these energy bites, now that I have formed them into balls, I'm going to refrigerate them for another 20 minutes to let them set. But in the interest of time and this video, I am going to have one with my latte. Mm. Mm. They kind of taste like a cookie too. I was right. So good. The spiciness of the golden milk and the fruity and chocolatiness of the energy bites. This is a fantastic duo. This is something I would have probably every day if I could. What I love about these recipes is that they are all aligned with everything that I talk about on this channel. Getting a lot of fiber in, looking at your phytoestrogens and trying to get more of those in, paying attention to your magnesium levels, your omega 3s, and building recipes with a combination of protein, fiber, healthy fats, carbs, complex carbs, and phytoestrogens. That is what I recommend on this channel and to my clients. And that is what these are all made of. So I'm feeling a little proud of myself here today. This was really good. I hope you give these all a try. They are all on the website, and the links to each of these recipes is in the show description. And if you would like more help with your diet and your energy levels, check out the show description for my free Midlife Metabolism Reset Guide. It is full of information and helpful tips on how to build your weekly meal plan and your diet to incorporate more of these types of nutrients in that will support your hormones, boost your metabolism, boost those energy levels, and help reduce your belly fat. All right, ladies, that's all I have for you this week. I am going to enjoy these later and these right now. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week on Healthy Her Midlife.